Hi guys, glory to Jesus Christ. So, I did another prison visit a couple days ago. This was a new prison. It's like collect them all, the McDonald's loyalty stamps or whatever. Loyalty stamps? That's Subway, isn't it? Whatever. The point is, it was a new prison. This was a medium security facility for men. It's a state prison in Pennsylvania, several hours away from my house. And actually, I know this sounds weird to say this, but the actual setting of this prison is absolutely glorious. It's in the middle of the Poconos, and it's just, you know, you got your rolling hills, and there had just been a thunderstorm, so you had that kind of wet grass fragrance, and I saw deer grazing by the side of the road. I mean, it was a lovely drive out there. I know how weird that sounds. Anyway, I saw a heroin deal go down, y'all. So, let's start at the beginning. So, I arrived at this prison. And the last prison that I visited was a federal prison. And it was a federal prison on a military base. So, even to get into the driveway, I had to show, you know, my license, my registration, my insurance card, my inmate, the information of the inmate I wanted to see, etc., etc. But this place, seeing as how it's not on a military base, it was easy to get in there. You know, I had to make sure I was on the list, but I just drove up, no inspection, no nothing, walked into the visiting house, got processed, and that was pretty much it. Funny thing, though, you know how some people they go on an airplane, and they always get picked for, like, the super invasive security search? Like, really before the whole body scanner thing, you know, they'd be like, excuse me, we need you to step into the room with Officer, you know, Big Hands, and, yeah. I am that person when it comes to prisons. I always get all of the optional security screenings, and I think I finally understand why now. See, when I am nervous, especially if it's a new facility, I don't want to break any rules, I don't want to get myself in trouble, I don't want to get my inmate in trouble, I can be extremely obsequious. And my voice goes up, and I start talking too quickly, and I start doing just stupid stuff sometimes. You know, like, this particular time, I was trying to get my necklace off because it was metal and it wouldn't pass through the metal detector, so I had to put it in a locker. And I couldn't get the clasp. I was standing there, and I was, you know, I had this, like, little plastic bit of the window, not plastic, but, like, you know, the bulletproof glass that has the wires in it like this, and I was trying to see my reflection, and I was like, I can't get her off, and, I mean, the cops that were in the room were like, what is this girl's deal? So finally, being the hot mess that I am, I got the stupid necklace off, I got all my paperwork squared away, I go through the archway, you know, metal detector. And I can kind of tell that they're looking at me a little bit weird, you know, they're trying to make conversation with me, but I think what they were really doing was going, why is he so jumpy? Because I should expect that it's a prison, so yes, every door is going to make a loud clank, every door is going to need a loud buzzer that opens it, you know, it's a prison, hello. But I always forget that, and I forget how loud this stuff is. If you've never been into a correctional institution before, this part is like the movies, it is that loud, and that just... bam, it's very intimidating. So anyway, so they're going, what is she trying to smuggle in here? You know? So after I go through the regular metal detector, I had a very thorough, I guess I would call it gas chromatography, which is where I had a t-shirt on, so they had me hold my hands out, or like all the way, kind of like this, and they had these wands that looked like kind of melon ballers, but they had cotton pads in them. You see these at the airports. The airports do this too. But rather than just doing my hands, you know, this guard, he did all of my fingers, he did between my fingers, he did my palms, the backs of my hands, and he did all over both arms. Okay, all over. It was crazy. And I'm standing there like, you know, like any day now. And the worst part, of course, is always just when you're waiting for the machine to process it. You know, it's like, it's going to come back like, crystal meth, woo! So, fortunately, that did not happen. So, I got allowed in to see my inmate. My inmate comes out, we're talking, blah, blah, blah. then another woman walks in, and my inmate recognizes her. And he was like, you remember how I told you about all the crap that goes down here during visits? He was like, just keep your eye on her. And I was like, what? Are we in danger? He's like, no, just watch. And it turned out she actually got assigned a seat right in front of us, so facing away from us, but directly ahead. So my inmate and I were talking again, and blah, blah, blah. Eventually, a man comes out to sit with this woman. And then she gets up to use the bathroom. So my inmate leans over to me, and he was like, yeah, so you're about to see drug balloons get smuggled into prison. He wasn't saying it loudly, but he was like whispering. I was like, what do you mean? Because I know that drugs get smuggled into prison all the time. Of course they do, but I've never seen it before. So what happens is, you know, they make balloons full of heroin or cocaine, or probably some other stuff too. I don't even know. But let's go with heroin, because that's what he seemed to think this was for some reason. Anyway, so they'll hide them in their bras, or sometimes in their hair, because you're not allowed to wear an underwire bra into the prison because it will fail the metal detector. But they're not going to have some, you know, burly officer friendly feeling up people's boobs. So if you hide something in your bra, chances are it's getting into the prison. So then what she did was she goes to the bathroom, she came back out, and I guess she had put the balloons in her mouth. They're small. They're not like egg-sized. I mean, they're pretty. Then she kisses the guy. And there it is. And so my inmate was saying, he was like, yeah, so, you know, we get strip searched butt naked before we're allowed back in the block. So what he's going to do is he's going to swallow them. And then he's going to excrete them in a day or two. And then he's going to unwrap them, and there you go. Because apparently, and I have no idea why this would be, but apparently balloons or condoms full of drugs don't usually flush in a prison toilet. I don't know why that would be. Probably something to do with their density, perhaps, in relation to water. I mean, I don't even know why they wouldn't, but he was like, yeah, no, it happens all the time. They just, you know, will use the bathroom and then flush toilet, and then everything else goes down the drain, but there's your drugs. But I couldn't believe that I actually saw this happen, like, right in front of my eyes. I was like, you know, it takes a certain amount of chutzpah to do that, because that is, of course, a federal crime. That's a big old nasty federal crime. That's a felony. You do a lot of hard time for smuggling drugs in the prison. And you know what else I find funny is that this isn't even a high security prison. I guess that's maybe one of the reasons why they were able to do it that way, but still, it's like, you know, I mean, anytime you have contact visits, which means you're not separated by bulletproof glass and talking on the phones, but anytime you're actually able to interact with an inmate, you know, there's stuff that happens. So I guess that's checking another item off my bucket list. Watch drug deal go down on prison ground. Check. So what can you do? So that, by the way, is why they have signs that are posted everywhere. Inmates and visitors are permitted a brief hug and a brief kiss when entering and leaving, or, you know, at the start and the end of a visit. Only. No exceptions. Misconducts will be given. I almost kind of didn't get that. I was like, you know, why do you care? Maybe it would be good for morale to allow them to do a little bit more than that. I don't mean anything like explicit, but, you know, the reason is because that's how they pass drugs. See, there really is a reason for everything. All of these rules that you think maybe are just a little bit outdated or a little bit draconian, usually it's just because, I'll give you one thing, these inmates are resourceful and they know how to get what they want no matter where they are. So anyway, new experience for Daria. Let's see, other than that, not much new to report on this particular video, but I thought you might find that amusing. So I will talk to you guys hopefully in a little bit later today. I'm still unpacking from my trip. And hopefully, fingers crossed, after I finish that, make another video. But anyway, God bless you. Happy belated July 4th. Please keep praying for me. I'll keep praying for you. Good deal. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I will see you in the next clip. Bye.